Stand with your true friends. You decide the story. You decide the caliber of your story. You discern who you are. You discern your field. Discern your field. Come on. Discern the story you need to stand in. Discern the caliber of your story. Come on. Produce the necessary bodies, produce the necessary laws so as to make it real. Produce the necessary laws of existence that will accord with the caliber of story that is true to your heart. Produce the anatomy Be clear about your exact anatomy beyond the morphologies that are inertially there. Go through this gate of learning. This gate of learning, pass through this gate of disenchantment with small hopes, small hopes, small hopes, small hopes. Do not search for the fulfillment of love where it cannot happen. How do we attain this threshold? How do we attain the threshold of disillusionment? Travel throughout your fucking life just as if time were a tree with branches, and reach to those exact types of experience that resonate with the motion you want to stand in, to stabilize. Produce these collaborations of various forms of experience in your field that will give you the coherence, the integrity you need to achieve the story of each sequence of action. The coherent, the finally achieved coherence. There is this sap of friendship beyond time that will allow you to partner all morphologies of experience that you need in a certain clarified form of function. Just open up this petty definition of the present moment into a vaster celebration of possibility. Come on, open up these chambers of anatomically designed capacity so as to host the true celebration. Come on. There is nothing that can contradict the motions of the membranes of the limit of reality, which are the true contours of your heart. There is nothing there to contradict the motions of the membranes of the limit of reality. Truth is not a matter of correspondence. Truth is not a matter of correspondence, and if you have any clarity about this, is your marrow sharp enough to pierce through time into the moment where you found this realization? Then stand clear about the complete nature of what happened. Understand all anatomy of love that made this sharpness of the marrow possible. Then you will understand what this friendship is, what the scale of this story is. Then you can understand how a story can be written. There is one threshold to be crossed. There is one unbearable possibility. There is one unseen, invisible possibility. Highly calibrated capacity for madness. Highly calibrated madness. Okay, just withstand the nature of this truth. Can you withstand the nature of freedom? Can you withstand the fucking fierce eyes of freedom? Can you withstand the nature of the void? What will it take to step out of this inertial form of life? What will it take to step out of this inertia? What will it take to make the real shift? Yes, the most absurd, the highest ideal is the very ground of reality. It's the very basic law of truth. There is no compromise allowed. There is no compromise here. There is no bullshit here. So come on, stand with your true friends. Stand in the caliber of their field. Withstand their field of presence. The very freedom of doing this is the most violent, the most brutal. You always have the freedom to consider the field of existence of any form of being. You are continuously always in the very field of any possible being. You are continuously in the very field of any possible being. You are continuously in the resonance of the field of any possible being. How can you bear that? How can you stand in this? How can you stand? What does it mean to stand in this unbearable truth. How can one stand in such a way? What does one do in this frame of existence? How would you be able to produce the necessary mathematics of dance that would create the relevant dialogue between all of the fields of existence present in this very moment? It is the anatomy of your heart that can withstand such capacity. How do you awaken this ruthless anatomy of possibility? How does one stand in this ruthless capacity? How do you stand awake in this ruthless capacity of clarity? How do you stand in this ruthless morphology of story? How do you stand in this wild architecture, a liberated reality? The question is, how can you reclaim capacity in your field of existence? Morphologies of action, morphologies of manifesting in all the fucking field that you consider as real in this very moment. How can you reclaim that power so as to enter the celebration, so as to enter the manifesting of the celebration? If you want to be it, if you want to honor it, if you want to honor the scale of possibility, what can you awaken in your field as intelligent? Can you awaken from the subjective paralysis? Where is the discipline that can do this? If you want to confront the membranes of reality, what provisions of resource can you awaken? If you want to challenge the membranes of freedom, what provisions of capacity can you arouse within your marrow? The question is like this. If you stand out of this inertial anatomy, what is your functional anatomy? If you step into the necessary despair, the uncompromising attitude, what remains of you? As pure function, what remains of you as pure function? What can you awaken in your field? How long can you stay awake beyond this threshold of disenchantment? How long can you stay functional beyond this inertial comfort of identity? How long can you stay awake in true essential function?